In our previous couple of videos, we got to know that centripetal acceleration is directed radially inward. But what is the magnitude of this acceleration? On what factors does it depend on? Let's begin. Last time we considered a diagram something like this, where delta v vector gave us the direction of centripetal acceleration. We'll take the same approach, but this time for the magnitude. Let's consider that the body is in uniform circular motion, which means the speed is constant but velocity isn't. Because centripetal acceleration is changing the direction continuously. Let's say that at the time interval t1, velocity vector is v1, and at time interval t2, velocity vector is v2. The change in time is delta t. The magnitude of vector v1 equals magnitude of vector v2 because the body is in uniform circular motion. Let this point be A and this one B. Let's form a triangle by duplicating v1 somewhere here, v2 at tail of v1, and delta v from the head of vector 1 to the head of vector 2. To form a triangle, assume that the time interval delta t is so small that this angle delta theta becomes so small that the arc AB doesn't remain an arc but becomes a line segment AB. By this assumption, I mean that this angle delta theta becomes so small that the arc AB becomes a straight line segment AB and the sector OAB becomes a triangle OAB with two sides equal to radii and the third side equal to the arc length. So we get two triangles, triangle OAB and triangle OPQ. It is easy to understand this assumption if you visualize this circle as a magnified version of a smaller circle. When delta theta is very small, then points A and B are so close that they make a line segment instead of an arc. So we get a line segment AB instead of an arc AB. Let me erase this to make everything clear. Before we proceed further, there is one very important thing to know, and that is a geometry law which states that if two line segments have an angle theta in between them, then two lines perpendicular to these two lines will have the same angle theta in between them. In this case, this law means that if the angle between OA and OB is delta theta, then the angle between OP and OQ is also delta theta, as line segments OP and OQ are perpendicular to line segments OA and OB respectively, because these are the same velocity vectors. In short, this angle is congruent to this angle. As the body is continuously in uniform circular motion, let the velocity vector at some interval be vector v3, vector v4, vector v5. If we trace these vectors to the tail of v1, we can see that it tends to form a circle, which makes the triangle OPQ a sector of the circle with delta theta so small that the sector OPQ becomes a triangle OPQ, just like we have discussed earlier. As we have studied that angle theta in radians equal arc length over length of the radius. Arc length delta v and the radius is speed. So this equation becomes delta theta equals delta v over speed. Let's divide both sides by delta t. So we get delta theta over delta t equals delta v over speed over delta t. If we arrange this equation, we get that velocity into delta theta over delta t equals delta v over delta t. The rate of change of velocity is acceleration and the rate of change of angular displacement is angular velocity. So this equation can be written as velocity into omega equals acceleration. As we have studied the relationship between linear and angular velocity in our previous video, we got to know that speed equals radius into omega. Eliminating omega from this equation, centripetal acceleration equals velocity times v over radius. So centripetal acceleration becomes a speed square over radius, and we truly deserve a drum roll here. And here we have it. The magnitude of centripetal acceleration which is directly proportional to the square of the speed and inversely proportional to the radius of the circle. Note that this equation only gives us the magnitude of centripetal acceleration, and the direction we already know, that is towards the center of the circle along the radius, that is radially inward. There are some more methods to derive this value. More on those methods in our coming videos. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more such short and crisp educational videos. And also find us on social media platforms at Smartitude Official.